Time to say goodbye. This was a pretty good one. Sorry, Charles. It's just gotta happen. What do you think? The new look? Nah. Yeah, that's the one. The new look of Homesteady. What do you think? I just can't pull it off. No Tom Selleck here. I know, the beard is cool and all, but if I didn't shave, then I would never get carded and look like a really oversized homesteading baby, right? And we would all miss that as much as I do. Ready for it? Child of the 80s for you. Home Alone transition time. Oh, that's better. We're outside in one of my favorite spots on this homestead. We're leaving soon. It's Sunday morning and that means it's time for... It's not Sunday? Oh, it's Saturday. Well, I guess this is Saturday Q&A now. Can you free range pigs? Just let them go, no fencing? How did Kay get me, a city boy, to actually start homesteading? And why in the world are Kay's parents, who have a beautiful house and this amazing property, leaving it and letting us have it? We're gonna talk about those questions and more in today's, I guess we're gonna be doing Saturday Q&A now. We decided here at Homesteady we want to take a day off each week. It's good to take a day off so you don't get angry and start to hate what you do. So every Saturday we're going to try doing Saturday Q&A. And we were asked by Mary if we're going to be doing any more live streams. We did a live stream while we were in Pennsylvania. We are going to continue to do live streams. However, we realized that live streams and Sunday Q&A sessions are very similar. So instead of doing both in one week, we're going to alternate them. So we're going to have Sunday Q&A. Nope, I just said we're doing Saturday. Saturday Q&A, Saturday live stream, Saturday Q&A, Saturday live stream. And if you want to know before our live streams when they are, be sure to sign up to our email list. There's a link below for that. That way every time we go to live stream I send out an email to let everyone on the list know so you don't miss out on the live streams. Now let's get into your questions. The first question for today, growing up on a farm, South Africa asks, can pigs walk outside in the open? Will they come back? And they remember to hashtag #AskHomesteady their comment. It makes it much easier for me to find your questions. It's not a guarantee they'll get into Saturday Q&A, but it's much easier for me to find them. So make sure to hashtag all your questions #AskHomesteady so I can find them. You can let pigs into the open and they will go wild. Pigs are, of all the domestic animals, the ones that are most likely to revert back to their wild tendencies. They will even grow tusks and just become feral hogs. So no, it is not a good idea to free range your pigs. Now, if you had a giant property and you had very domestic pigs that come to, you know, the dinner bell, as they say, when you bring out your slop or your feed, if they come to you, you could train pigs to do that. Domestic pigs will come when called for feed. However, when you're not feeding them, they will be searching for more food. They can be very destructive. I would never ever have pigs not in fencing. Next question. Charles says, I love the content as always. I appreciate how much time you're putting into the channel. I must ask though, can the music be a bit more quiet? Can we crank it down a bit? Good on you, Charles. Sorry, last week's Q&A, everyone said the music was too loud, so we will make sure it's not too loud. Maybe we won't even have music. I don't know, I put it in when I edit it later, so whatever I did, is this better? Honey Baby Farms asks, have you tried just skinning? I like that name for the farm, Honey Baby Farms. It's a good name. Have you tried just skinning your meat chickens? It's so much easier and faster. We normally pluck our meat chickens, and yes, it is so much more work to pluck meat chickens. I totally agree with you. We have skinned birds in the past. You just have to be okay with not having skin on your chicken, and I'm not okay with that. I like having the skin. I like the crispy skin, the whole presentation. Instead of skinning chickens, I think I would just switch to raising rabbits. I even get really picky when I shoot wild pheasants. I even pluck wild pheasants. A lot of guys will just skin them and breast them out. But I just like having the whole bird with the skin. I think it adds to the whole presentation and flavor and texture. Roxanne asks, what breeds of sheep do you recommend for homesteading for meat, wool, or milking? And she remembered, hashtag Ask Homesteady. Good on you, Roxanne. We raised what is called the Golden Cross. The Golden Cross are a mix of a Wiltshire Horn and a St. Croix. And what you get from that is generally sheep that will not have horns, which is nice, not to have to deal with the horns, that will be very resistant to parasites and will grow large and give you lots of meat. You may see those in the future. Now, we don't want to do fiber, so as far as wool goes, sorry Roxanne, I have no suggestions as far as what sheep to go with for fiber. But if you just want to do meat, get yourself some hair sheep so you don't have to deal with the fiber, and that's the one we would go with. Roxanne got another question in because she hashtagged Ask Homesteady, and it's just easy to find those questions. She said, how do you keep owls, hawks, and even large cats like bobcats/mountain lions away from your chickens? They lost an entire flock last year to all sorts of animals. They had an owl nest in their barn. That is a bummer. How do you get them to leave? So Roxanne, we have found the best way to deal with predators. You need a lot of different things, multifaceted approach. First off, make sure you're not encouraging predation by having feed out. If bears or raccoons or possums can find easy feed, they'll be there more often, and then they'll be looking for more things to eat, like your birds. So make sure all your feed is secure. Also, having perimeter fencing, whether that be electric or hard, helps keep them away. I also like having a dog on the property. Our dog is on the property. He's constantly barking at things and keeping things away. And finally, when it comes to birds of prey, we find having lots of big trees around helps that. Now, there's nothing you can do if you don't have big trees already. Sorry. But if you're looking for a property, having a lot of big trees will help. Our next homestead is not going to have big trees, and that is one of the things we will miss. So anyways, it's a combination of all those things. Having some lights on outside at night helps, motion lights. You just got to try a little bit of everything and make sure at the end of the day that your chickens are locked up safe and sound in the coop every night before that sun goes down. That's the biggest thing. My neighbor just like fired up a chainsaw or something, I don't know, machine. Anyways, I wanted to be outside today. I'm not going to be here much longer, and this is just a pretty spot to do this Q&A. Victor wanted to know, would I breed pigs? Victor, probably not. Breeding pigs requires that you keep 2 giant pigs on your homestead, and they can be dangerous. Sows can be incredibly dangerous when they have a litter of pigs. It's a lot of extra work. And it doesn't even pay for itself unless you have 1 boar to like 2 or 3 sows and you're doing multiple litters, which means you need to be able to sell to your local community or bring to market somewhere around 30, 40 pigs. I don't have the desire to get involved in that much work. Now, if you just have 1 boar and 1 sow and you just do 1 litter, you will feed that boar and that sow a ton of feed in a year each. That's 2 tons of feed, which costs me about $600, which means just to keep 1 sow and 1 boar and do 1 litter, flat out costs $1,200 before I even factor in the cost of the actual pigs, which for me generally is somewhere around $400 per pig. These numbers are very different from what yours might be depending on your area, the cost of feed, and everything else. But I just wanted to make the point that very rarely is it worth a homesteader breeding their own pigs. It's a huge hassle, and I am more than happy to pay $100 per piglet to get feeder pigs, and I think that's what you should do too. A couple weeks ago, I asked you what my favorite pig breed was, and I said one of you who guessed correctly would get a free month of Homesteady Pioneer membership. Well, Garrett guessed Yorkshire Landrace Cross. That is indeed my favorite pig breed to raise. And so Garrett, email me, Aust@thisishomesteady. And once I have your email, I can respond back with your access to a free month of Homesteady Pioneer membership, which become a Homesteady Pioneer, you get access to master classes on raising chickens and food preservation and raising pigs and all sorts of other things. If you're not a pioneer, you can see our master class on raising pigs for meat. You can see this free if you check out the presentation I am doing with the Grow Network. So I will have a link below. You can see this. It's next week, next Friday, I believe, is the presentation. The Grow Network is putting on an entire week-long event where there's lots of awesome homesteading information and content, and it's all free, lots of videos you can see. It's a home medicine summit, but not all of the presentations are on medicine. For example, mine is about raising pigs, which, you know, there's a strong argument that farm fresh bacon is like the best medicine, but I won't have that argument with you right now because I'd win. Anyway, if you want to check out Grow Network's Summit, it's a week-long program with lots of videos, lots of different presenters. We're going to be presenting next Friday, but you can check out all the presentations. I'll have a link below for that. You can get your free tickets, book in advance. I'm gonna spin around because I think you can hear that. I'm gonna change. Is that better? I hope it's better. Sorry. Celeste wants to know, how did Katie, farm girl, persuade Austen city boy to try homesteading? Homesteading is one of those things that once you start getting involved in it, it's just gets you pulled in more and more. So the trick is, if you're trying to convince your significant other who is not a homesteady type, don't force it on them, don't make them do it. Just do one little thing and make it so fun they can't even help it. That's what Kay did. She wanted to have chickens. I didn't. I was like, yeah, you can have chickens. So we did 6 chickens, and my mind started going as soon as we started getting those eggs every day. It isn't so hard to have chickens. Maybe we could do a couple pigs. And then I'm very entrepreneurial, so I decided, if I can raise 6 chickens and 2 pigs, well, I could do 12 chickens and 4 pigs and sell the extra, and well, here we are. So really, it was just a little sampling of it that got me excited about it, and from there, I kind of pushed us further than I think Kay ever would have pushed us. Roxanne left another comment on the channel asking how to recover from a major disaster. She said her home burned down and they're not sure what to do. Roxanne, I am so sorry to hear that. That's awful. And I've never been through that. I've never been through such a disaster. The thing I would say that's most important, really the only little bit I can add to an experience like this, is to try to look at it as a chance for you to go from 0 forward. Obviously, our move is not because of a disaster. It's a blessing we get to move onto this beautiful new homestead, but we are going back to 0 in the sense that everything we've done here will not be there, and we'll have to kind of form our new homestead from 0. And it's easy if you're put into a position where all the work you've done for so many years is gone. I'm not saying that's what's happened to us, because it's a very positive thing that's happened to us. But in your case, it's a negative thing. This home is burned down. How do you move forward? Try to be excited about the chance to do what you wanted to do all along. You've learned a lot from having done it once before. Now you have a better idea of what you'll do in the future. That's what we're looking forward to on the new homestead, is just doing things the way we should have done them in the beginning, but we're too stupid to do. So look at it as a chance for you to do things the way you want. Be excited about a fresh start. And I'm so sorry you had to go through something so awful. And I hope that helps in any little way, because I'm sure it's, yeah, sorry that happened. Mary Louise wanted to know, how long will it take to get all the animals moved to their new home? We have one more trip planned, Mary Louise. Very soon we're going to take the rest of the animals, and everybody will be at the new homestead, including us. Speaking of that trip, Not Your Average Guy wanted to know how long was the ride. It looked really fast in our video that we made, jump cuts and music. No, that ride took us like 10 hours. Normally it's not a 10-hour drive, but when you're towing trailers and you got a rental truck and lots of people, it slowed it down. So 10 hours, it was brutal. Hearthstone Gaming wanted to know, will we be bringing any cats with us? We'll be bringing all our cats with us. Michelle wanted to know, where are the goats? Great question, Michelle. I had a great video filmed while we were down in PA where we took the goats and we dropped them off to Kay's aunts, and we got to say goodbye to Lacey and our little doe. It would have been a very nice video to share with you. I was very tired and out of sync with my normal routine because we were in a foreign place, and boop, I deleted that footage before ever uploading it, and it's gone to the universe. But the goats are not gone to the universe. The goats are in Pennsylvania at Kay's aunt's being taken care of, and they're enjoying life with lots of other goats. Shirley was one of many people who were concerned there are no windows in this apartment we're moving into. What about windows? Unfortunately, the roof is a gambrel. The sides have been brought in, so there's really no option for windows on the side of the space. There's the big sliding door at the one end and the garage door at the other. We could put like a skylight or ceiling windows in, but that's a lot of work to maintain and make sure they don't leak. We're just gonna accept that it's mostly just a guest space for a couple months. We're gonna be living there without windows. Fortunately, it'll be summer and there's gonna be lots of time spent outside to make up for the loss of windows. There will, on both ends of the building, be a fire escape and access, so no matter what, we'll be able to get out. A lack of windows is unfortunate, but just hard to fix. Rhonda asked, what kind of van do we have? We have a Nissan NV. It's a 12-passenger vehicle, and I love it. And it's great for farming and homesteading because you can fit like an entire family of goats in the back and an entire family of humans in the front, which is something we've done a lot recently. David says, Starbucks, really? Why would a sensible person spend that kind of money on coffee? Not to mention their totalitarian business practices. Guess you rich young yuppies are just that way. What can I say, Dave? I love my coffee. And my fancy coffees. I know, it's expensive. We all have our vices. Diana says those pastures look like a great place for sheep. Any plans to raise some lambs? As I mentioned before, yes, in the future there may be some lambs on the property. We love lamb. Grass-fed lamb is awesome, and it's a good spot to do it. And Kay's aunts sell them, so we could just pick up a couple feeders every year. You call them feeders when they're lambs? I don't know. A couple different people noticed the outlets being mounted to the walls, the surface mounting electrical in our apartment, and the fact that it wasn't recessed. We went with surface mounting because we kind of like that industrial look with pipes and things, and also because of speed and scheduling and trying to get this all done. It just made the most sense for us to just get it up there and get it over with. Amy saw that in the big new field we're going to be living at, there was no perimeter fencing. School bus. Yes, Amy, there is no perimeter fencing up. We will have to do something there, and I've been thinking for a while about it. I might do a perimeter of high tensile fencing. It's economical over long distances. It can be electrified, and then to divide it for pasture management, we can just run poly wire or tape. That's my idea so far, but we'll tackle that bridge when we get there. You don't tackle bridges, you cross them. Speaking of the new place, Jacqueline is curious, why are Kay's parents moving in the first place? They have this beautiful house, beautiful property. So why are they leaving? Well, it's a combination of reasons. Kay's dad has been caring for this farm for years. He's getting older. He's got a ton to do. He runs a huge business and does a lot of other things. So he just was looking to pass one thing off, and he knew we loved the farming. To get us to the property, we would need a place to live. At the same time, because he and Kay's mom are getting older, he wants to live in a house that is a little bit more age appropriate, something that's one level. He wants wheelchair access everywhere. They're not in wheelchairs, but you know, it's not bad to plan ahead. So he wants to have a house that's for him and his wife to grow old in. He is going to be building that house, not himself, but he's going to have it built for him to his specific specs. And it will be on the family farm property, which is 100 acres. So they'll be on the mountain there, just somewhere on a different side of the mountain where there's not a direct line of sight. We'll have our piece of the family farm. They'll be setting up their home on the family farm. And mostly just for, again, those reasons. Being able to pass off the farm care to someone else, and for them to be in a bit of a smaller house that's designed for older people who don't want to walk up and down stairs, and really good access would anyone ever wind up there who's in a wheelchair. So my in-laws watch our videos, so I have to be careful how I talk about like them growing old. You guys aren't old. Got a lot of life left. Fiona wanted to know what health requirements do we have to deal with for Ladybug and Luna as far as moving them. We have to get them certified by a vet saying yes, they are healthy, and that has happened, and so now we can move them because they've been certified healthy. Brian, superfan Brian, wants to know, what are you going to do for 40,000 subs? I asked Brian, I don't know, any ideas? You guys have any ideas? We just made 40,000 subscribers, so what I'm gonna do is say thank you so much to all of you who have helped us get to this point by watching the videos, subscribing to the channel, supporting us in whatever ways you do, whether that's by becoming a Homesteady Pioneer, $5 a month. You gain access to the bonus classes and all the other stuff that we give the pioneers. That's a huge way to support us. Shopping through our Homesteady link before you shop at Amazon, just type in Homesteady and that forwards you on to Amazon, or just by sharing the videos with other people and other people who become new subscribers who helped us get to 40,000 subscribers. My goal, I mentioned a month or so ago, was by July to be to 50,000. So Brian, I don't think we're gonna do anything really special for 40,000 because I got this deadline. July, we're going to be at 50,000 subscribers. So what am I going to do for 40,000 subscribers? I'm going to encourage you to share our channel, because at 50,000 subscribers, if we make it by July, we'll do something really special, do some kind of giveaway. I'm not sure what, but leave comments below. What's a good idea for 50,000 subs? Because I want to do something really cool for 50. We're getting close, and that's a huge milestone. And we couldn't do it without you, so thank you so much. Misty wondered how far we're moving away from my dad. You saw my dad in those videos last week. He was a huge hit. People love my dad. There was a lot of positive feedback for my dad. And yeah, we're moving away from my dad and my mom. And we're moving, they live close to here. So we're moving the entire, distance away. And that's one of the hardest things for me in this move, was moving away from my parents. I love my parents. My mom and dad are great. You haven't seen my mom yet on the channel, but one of these days you will. They're both great, and I love them very much. I will miss being very close to them. The one benefit to this whole move is my parents, they like to travel, and with the build that we're doing right now with this apartment space, we'll have plenty of room for them to come and stay. And so they will be able to come and visit, and Lord knows I'll have more projects to do that I'll want my dad's help on. But that is one of the hardest parts of this move, is me moving away from my family. I've never lived further away than like a half hour. So that's going to be something I have to get used to, and probably the hardest part of the whole move for me is moving away from my parents and my good friends who are here. I've lived here my whole life, so next week you'll see in the videos leading up to the final move, we're dealing with that stuff, and you have to process it. I'm sure it's not easy. I wouldn't know, I've never gone through it, but I'm going through it. So. Speaking of the move, Virginia wanted to know, when do we leave for the last time? When do we close? And then a little bit about Kay's family. So we will be leaving in the next 2 weeks here. We're doing our final pack up and getting ready. We don't have our day yet planned. We're still finishing up things. The closing, same thing. The closing is coming. It will be no later than early June, our closing. So it's coming quickly. And then about Kay's family, she mentioned that we never got to meet Kay's mom in the videos. That's true, but I'm sure you'll wind up seeing her in a future video. Kay has 3 siblings, and when we get there, the kids are going to be homeschooled. So a little bit about the family and what we're going to do there. I'm getting hoarse here, so we're going to finish this up. A couple more questions. Lori wanted to know about Kay's boots They're muck boots, and you can get them on Amazon. But before you go to Amazon, type in homesteady.com and it will forward you to Amazon, but we'll get a little bonus for sending you there. We use the Wetland. Wetland muck boots are really good. They're waterproof, they're insulated, so they're warm, but they're not too insulated, so you can wear them in the late fall into the early spring, right up until about now. So pretty much half of the year where we live, you can use those boots, and then we'll use a lighter boot for the summer, or even just like a Croc for the summer, because just the heat, you can't take all that boot real estate going on with the feet. Autumn wanted to know, how long does it take me from filming a video, editing it, and posting it? She has a bet going on with her son. She says 1 day or 2, maybe a week. Our son and I are trying to figure it out. So Autumn, ready? Drum roll please. The answer is, it depends. Most of the time, the videos you're watching have been filmed usually the day previous. I try to stay ahead a day in production. So generally speaking, you're watching a video that I filmed a day before, worked on throughout that day and into the next morning, and then about every day at 5 o'clock I release our video, which is when you see what happened the previous day. Now, we don't do a daily vlog in the sense that like it's exactly day by day. Sometimes something will happen like really interesting. 2 different things will happen. One thing with chickens, another with goats. I might make 2 vlogs out of that. So you're watching a slight delay. There are other times where I don't have a video done and I'll film something in the morning, edit through the afternoon, and have it published by 5 o'clock. And then finally, weeks like last week where we were in Pennsylvania, we had a ton to do. There was a serious delay on those videos just to give me a little more time to work on them. So those videos you were watching probably 3 or 4 days behind. So there's no cut and dry answer, but never more than a week. I never like to sit on footage that long. It gets boring to me. I like to edit quick and keep moving forward. Growing up on a farm, South Africa, asked, why don't we try strip grazing? I think they asked our first question of the day. It's a lot better for your pasture. So they saw we put Luna and Ladybug out on all our pasture and just let them go. We did that right now because we're moving and we're letting it go. You know, the pasture just got to get mowed. We don't care about improving it because we're not going to be here long enough to improve it. When we go to the new farm, we will be doing like a mob grazing or a strip grazing where you just give them a section and they do all that and then you move them on quickly, because it is been proven by some people, they believe, to improve the soil, and I think that makes the most sense. So we will be doing that in the new homestead, and you'll see that soon. And the final question, Farmer Bill asks, what kind of film equipment / editing software do you use? Anytime you're wondering about equipment, whether it's farming or clothing or video or whatever, there's a link below that takes you to our website, shows all the gear I use. A lot of those links are affiliate links, however, some of them are not. I just want to make sure you know what I'm using, and if I can get an affiliate bonus, great, but if not, I'd rather you know the right stuff. Anyway, quick fire off. I use all Canon cameras and lenses. I use Mac computers, and I edit with all Adobe software, and that's the basics, and you can see the more detailed listing. If you click on the link below, it takes you to our website and our gear page where I talk about all our gear. Thank you so much for watching this Q&A video, and we will see you next week as we begin like the last of the videos you're going to see on this homestead ever, which is so sad, but also so exciting because we will be going to another beautiful homestead. So join us for those, and if you want to help us do these videos, click right there to become a pioneer. It's $5 a month, and it is the best way you can support our channel. Or if you're going to shop on Amazon, type in homesteady.com first. It will forward you there. Or another great way is just tell somebody about our channel. Thanks.